नमस्कार नमस्कार नमस्कार। आज फिर से 7 बज गए हैं। रोज 7 बजते हैं और रोज मैं आपके पास हाजिर हो जाती हूँ एक नए मेहमान को लेके। इट इज सो अमेजिंग, एज यू नो, दिस हैज बीन द सीरीज ऑफ शो स्टॉपर्स. Why do we say showstoppers? Because I believe that to have an artist on the stage, they are the people who are working along with the artist. Hear me out clearly. They are the ones who are working along with the artist to put the whole production onto the stage. You see the main artist on the stage, but behind them and along with them, they are all of them a team of artists who are putting the whole production on stage. Like on the first day, we had Sangeeta Das Banerjee, a photographer. Without a photographer, publicity is not possible. The lights are not possible. The look is not possible. Then we had Sandeep Dutta Dada, light designer, because without the lights, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. So you need to have the right lights. Then we have the anchor Bharti Dang, because वो सुर लगाती है पहला हर किसी प्रोग्राम का. उस सुर से आपको पता चलता है कि आगे आप क्या करने वाले हैं, आगे होने क्या वाला है. और कल थी मेकअप आर्टिस्ट अनुराधा माथुर, एंड टुडे वी हैव अ सेलिब्रेटेड artist and a costume designer and textile revivalist. Yes, ये बड़ा थोड़ा सा मुझे pronunciation याद करना पड़ा, and that is Sandhya Raman ji, and she has a great following out here. Namaskar, Sandhya Raman ji, how are you doing?
Namaskar, I'm fine. It's so nice to be here with you on your show.
So lovely. And
Wonderful.
behind you, I can see the whole artistic, whole work out there. I think this kind of frame has come to my show for the first time. The artist and her work around her. Amazing frame you have behind you, and you look
Yeah.
amazing with that salt and pepper hair. I want
Oh my
that
God.
too. I want that too.
I've worked very hard to get that, Alaknanda.
Oh yeah, I'm also working on the same part so that I get my salt and
I'm
pepper. I'm
sure
looking forward.
I'm sure you're going to get them soon. Don't worry. They'll
Oh,
look very
thank you
wonderful.
so much. These add so much grace to a woman and so much of experience that you can see, so much of intelligence and work that has gone behind. Comes through your whole look and attire that you're donning out there. It's amazing, amazing. And I must thank, I know you very well. I've seen your work on different stages at different productions, especially mentioning the Namrita's production of Geet Govind. एंड मुझे थैंक यू कहना है विशाल कृष्णा को कि उसने आपका नंबर मेरे को फॉरवर्ड किया कि दीदी आप बुलाओ, संध्या जी को बुलाओ. And it is really nice that he gave me your
He's
number.
such a sweetheart.
Oh,
He's
he's
such a sweetheart.
such a nice person. And बहुत मजा आता है उसके साथ में, and very open minded person. So it's amazing. Sandhya ji, as I was talking about the show, this is the show about showstoppers, the parallel professions along with the artist who is on the stage. Because without you, it's not possible to look the way we look or the artists look. It is you who makes the whole look complete. Tell me about your journey. How did you think of coming into this profession? What triggered your passion?
It's been a very long journey of 3 decades. And शुरुआत हुई थी that I was interested in dance. And of course, I come from a Tamram family, and where my parents, especially my father, didn't feel I should get into stage and dance because they had their own ideas of what a dancer's life is all about. And then I moved on with my design education and things like that. And that's when I my passion for dance came alive when I met Jonathan from Battery Dance Company head. He was there as a Fulbright scholar, and we were talking, and he and his wife had a presentation, and we talked about costuming, and we talked about stage, and we talked about dance, and I just got my that moment. You get that right moment. That's what I got. That this is the space that I was looking for, where I love dance and I appreciate every form of dance. So how do I be close to it? And that was no looking back from there. It just kept moving on, shows after shows, dancer with dancer, and each dance form and each dancer, and with each show every single day, it was a new learning. And it has never stopped. I mean, I've never stopped learning. I still think I have to learn a lot.
Wow, wow. So dance has been in your life quite early.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
Right from my childhood.
okay, if I may ask, which dance style were you doing? A classical, and Ini Singh is here and he says, "Hello, Sandhyaji."
Oh, hello, Amy. How are you?
No,
That's
hi
nice to
Ini,
have
how are
you on the
you?
show.
आज लाइट सही है ना भैया, देख ले भाई, ये लाइट सही है ना यारा। आई डोंट कॉल हिम भाई, भाई तो ऐसे ही निकल जाता है। दिल्ली दिल्ली की आदत है ना भैया, ओ भैया, वो वाली। So which style did you take up? Like, were you doing any classical style, or it was
Yeah, I
uh,
as a child, I mean, there's nothing to mention about of this, because as a child I dabbled with Bharatanatyam, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I learned a bit of Kathak, and there were small time things in school performances. We were all there all the time, learning and experiencing the folk dance and things. So it was there. Movement was there within me. So I enjoyed it. And today I feel I enjoy looking at people. Enjoy looking at dancers, working with them, and understanding them, because each dancer brings a completely different experience. And it's to just to submerge in that and just enjoy yourself. And then if you're working and making their costumes, that's
yes.
subhanallah.
So which
That's what I
school
could
were
say.
you in? Because I feel school plays a major role in a child's personality, because it depends. Like, you're talking about doing all the Bharatanatyam and the folk dances, and school definitely inculcates a lot of culture and aptitude and passion.
My early primary school was in St. Thomas's, and after that, I went to middle school and senior school. I went to DTA Mandirmag, and we had a whole lot of programs that would happen there. And then, of course, the evenings when you get back home, that's when you go for these classes. So you save little pocket money and then go and learn this, and ask mom and dad to pay those. And those days you pay 30 rupees and you could learn dance.
Yeah.
It's just shockier kind of thing that you're interested. I never thought it's going to be a profession or anything. It's just the enjoyment of dance. Just go and learn how it is and what's happening.
Yes, I was telling, like, when I started my institute 30 years back, it was rupees 50 fees.
Look at
So,
that.
and it was quite a bit that time. And Maulina Singh is here from Mumbai with us, and she says, Maulina, हम दोनों एक ही चीज पहले देख लेते हैं. The backdrop is so interesting in Sandhyaji. I told you,
This is my
the
small studio here
artist
right now.
and the artistic whole fanfare behind you makes it
Yeah.
very interesting. And Molina being a very good friend of mine, Molina, मैंने प्रोग्राम शुरू करने से पहले संध्या जी को यही बोला था कि this kind of the background is first time in my show, first time as that Sandhya ji's. And Nupur Pradeep Shankar Didi is also here. She says hello Alaknanda and Sandhya ji. And
Hello.
Alak, you're looking smashing hot. Tera pyar, tera pyar, pyar, pyar. Bolina, that's your love. So, and I remember Sandhya ji, like when I studied in Kamal Convent, Chanakya, and they used to make me do, they used to have these SUPW classes where we used to make dresses for dolls, and we used to do the cross stitch and everything. Do you think that somewhere that helps to inculcate or understand for a child that which direction that they should go?
SUPW per se just I feel is very essential, because if you have that, it's actually the full form is socially useful productive work, and
Yes,
that
yes.
is important because on a day-to-day base, you need to have these skill sets. You don't discard things. You button up. If the button is gone, you know how to mend it. If there's a thread which has come out, you know how to take the needle and thread and set it back. So that is why that is important. But I don't think that is the starting point of
Okay.
you know, clothing or anything like that. That is just awareness and skills. But yes, a lot of art and a lot of inputs and dance and music experience and exposure within the school or outside the school becomes the pillars, the foundation pillars for your awareness, and that's when your interests are evoked and you would want to take that and go ahead as a profession in case you plan to do that.
Okay. There's this lady, Avire Chore, and
Very
Sandhyaji.
high. Hi,
Ha,
Avedi. Oh,
she's
nice.
saying
Glad to
Sandhyaji is
hear.
just amazing.
Oh,
And
thank you, Avedi.
Vinalal says, hello, Alaknanda ji and Sandhyaji.
Hi.
I told you, you have a great fan following. And Ini says, I see one of my picture there.
When you
Ini,
come to my city, you'll see a lot of your pictures here. I
Ini,
depend on people like you only, need to have my studio full of pictures. I
yeah.
personally, the pictures that you guys give me is what I use.
And Molina says, yes, same Carmelite. Yes, we are Carmelites and we love this and we love the SUP classes of our school. And Parul Shah says, hello, both lovely people. So nice seeing you this evening. Yes, hi, Parul ji. How are you? It
I,
is amazing to see you here, and especially for Sandhyaji's show. I told you there were a lot of people walking into the show today.
so
Must
nice
have
to have
blossomed.
everybody here.
Yes,
How
yes.
nice.
I think it's the best way to meet at this point of lockdown and this whole
Of course,
corona.
it's it's a
Yeah.
refreshing moment to say hi to all the
Sandhya
friends.
ji, yeah, and good friends, and good friends. It's lovely to see Molina here. And I love you, Molina. Mwah. I love you, Vidha, my bestie. And Sandhya ji, for the younger generation to understand how to, if they have a passion of this kind, what is the kind of formal training needed to think of a career of a costume designer? I will come to the textile part later, but as a costume designer, what is the basic training needed?
Well, you need to have a first as a input in design, which would mean that either textile base and then apparel base. And with these two bases, you kind of understand the body and you understand the textures and the textiles. And once you have these two base, it is an added boon if the student or the youngster or whoever has a knowledge of movement and dance, because if you have even one dance form, if you understand, then you understand the kinesthetics of a dance. And when you understand the kinesthetics of the dance, you know what are the movements, you know what are each genre is different, how the dance is going to move in each genre is very different. And accordingly, the costumes are made. Then comes that there has to be a whole lot of knowledge in terms of, pack your knowledge bank with history and a whole lot of information that you gather. You have to have the inquisitiveness to know. It's not that you just take a pen and start drawing ye banado, but you need to be aware of the subject that you are talking about, go into depth of it, and then that's how it will be useful for anybody to take this profession on, or this is the way that they would go on.
I wanted to know, Sandhyaji, are there any formal schools or organizations which help you to develop your skills in this career?
Of course, there are institutes. One of the most famous one is National Institute of Design here in India.
Okay,
Then you
perfect.
have other fashion institutes which are there, like NIFT and Pearl, and there are many institutes, but they do not specialize in. None of them specialize in costume design.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
specialize in fashion design. Costume is a very niche market because it's not that everybody wants a costume, and it's not that you can make a just a, you know big hit on the costume. And film costumes are very different than dance costumes, because a film has many retakes. There are many things happening, whereas normal costume design, a costume for a dance performance, it's live. It's There is no room for malfunction. There is just, you
Yes.
go on the stage and you perform. So that confidence that you give to the dancer, that go ahead and dance full swing, and nothing is going to go wrong with the costume. That's the strength of what you need to have and imbibe. And that commitment towards the dancer, that you are giving her something which she look wonderful, it will be perfect for her mood, whatever she's projecting, it will be finished beautifully, and it's a pleasure to wear and dance and wear and forget about it, and just be yourself as a dancer and bring out the best. If she is to pull her chunni or a dupatta or tuck here, tuck there, and conscious what's showing, what's not showing, then her dance is gone for a toss. So you don't want all those. So that's what
Yeah.
institute gives you as a firm grounding to it.
Right. And I think, if I'm not wrong, you must have been a traveler also, because understanding of the whole concept of dance and the places that the dances are coming from, and you must be a
I love
vagabond
traveling.
on that account. Yes,
Well,
I
I've
got
been
ya.
an avid traveler, I would say. I do take my breaks, and I do go. I do like to see places, and other than just see places, and I'm not a person who like the, what you call the so-called tourist destinations. I like to go into the interiors of places,
Yes.
stay with the artisans or craftsmen or dancers, and it can be a tribal community. I had the most beautiful experience of living with the Bhil tribe almost 3 decades back in Rajasthan, where I was a part of this community, and the way they would come out and express their dance, their tribal folk dance, and express, there was no inhibition. They would talk about any subject. It could be any subject. Okay, so you can understand what I mean by that. And you would just, that was
Yes.
the only way of entertainment, and that is the only way to cool down or let loose your worries, and it was so beautiful. And the camaraderie of the family coming, the friends coming together, the whole community sitting around and clapping and cheering all the people, and there's some food happening on the side, and of course the men would have their hookahs or something like that. So it was very beautiful, a feeling. So yes, I enjoy traveling, and I would
Yeah,
like
I
to see
could
what they
catch that
wear.
spirit in you. I could catch
Mhm.
that spirit in you. I could catch that spirit in you. I could
Oh,
understand that this
and
must be a part of your passion also. Like, your work and your passion to travel go hand in hand. So I
yeah,
could
I
catch
mean,
it.
I've been lucky that way. I would just say that I've been very lucky that I've been able to do what I wanted to do. And I work a lot with crafts, so then I get the opportunity to work around or travel around with through the villages and to different parts of India to see what's happening.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we have Vibha Kapoor ji saying Namaste Alaknanda, Namaste Sandhyaji. And we have very nice guests with us today. Anita Ratnam ji, how nice to listen to Sandhya. So nice.
Oh,
Welcome,
so
Anita ji.
lovely.
Nice to see you here on this platform. And thank you, Sandhya ji. Tell me about your the other part which I am really interested about is your textile revivalist. When I wrote it, you corrected me that no, 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 it's not a fashion design, it's a costume designing. And I made that correction. And I tell everybody, if I'm wrong, I do make that, I accept it and I make the correction. I would like to know about that part also, because that is something that we are not much aware of. Although I'm a very sari person, and I buy from weavers and gift saris and everything, but what is that, what, how do you term it, and how would you explain it, and how does it go into the society?
Uh, I work with a lot of craftsmen and weavers, and I travel across, like I just told you. And my whole aim is to bring back the traditional textiles and traditional crafts and back to mainstream. Crafts and textiles, all these used to be our mainstream day to day wear. It used to be something that was a part of our lives. Still, we kind of alienated it and made it, into the the outer boundary of our lives and said, okay, these are expensive. Oh, this is only for functions, or this is only for rituals. No, and that is what I'm trying to bring back a whole lot of things. And I've been working across India with craftsmen. Like right currently, my main project is right now what I'm working is with the textiles of Arunachal Pradesh, and we're working with 26 tribes and 106 sub tribes, reviving their traditional weaves and bringing out their weaves to the center stage so that people can see what's happening and how these craftsmen, and we really don't need much of a design intervention there. You just have to see what their culture is, you have to see what their strengths are, and celebrate that. Everything doesn't have to be thrust upon with a designer's view. It is
Right.
sometimes they have the best possible solutions, and you need to appreciate that, and that's what I'm trying to do, and popularize that amongst the urban people so that they appreciate all this.
Right. And what do you think is the responsibility of the society or artists when you're on this journey of reviving the textiles and the culture and everything? What do you expect from the society or the artistic fraternity which you are so much close to? What is your expectation from them?
I believe of the artists are influencers, and they have to use their positive influence on the people who listen to them or look up to them or imbibe a lot of things from them. Or a lot of youngsters have aspirations from their gurus or their teachers or some of the artists, and if that is dealt extremely sensitively, I'm sure it will trickle down to say, okay, this is something that we should look at. Some of the artists are going out of their way to promote these textiles and to retain them in their crafts, to retain them in their art form, and it makes hell of a lot of difference, because earlier the craftsman, the weaver, was together with the artist. It was like, it was
Right.
one community. He would express and he would make something, and that's how everything moved until synthetic man-made fibers started coming into the market, and cheaper options people started preferring. Now my take is this, that you are performing a dance form where you have trained yourself for 15 years and 20 years. The pride of the dance itself is in your hand. You are carrying that heritage ahead. So add that heritage and enhance it with the real stuff that goes with it.
Right.
I'm not saying have 200 costumes, but have the costumes which make the statement, which say what you are, what your dance is all about. And for that, you look back into your heritage and say, what can I bring in? And there's so much that you can do. It's not that you have to be stuck to and say, oh, I don't want to look ancient. No, there is so much modernity in it. You need to look into it. You need to understand what is it that one can do with these for yourself.
You're right.
So the
And
sad that a lot of
that's a very
polyester,
nice thing that you said, that artist is an influencer. I feel if an artist takes up the responsibility of promoting a certain kind of textile and culture, I think a lot of public or a lot of the fan following follows the same path.
true. Yes, we always thought the films are influencers, but they aren't. They don't do they just, films are basically, the stars are influencers for a day. Okay, I'll wear this for this wedding, that's it. But what touches you core, what touches your heart is an art form, is a dance form. So that
Yes.
is a sensible, sensitive input an artist can give. And as a dancer, you are shouldering such responsibilities. So then this is something which is what is a holistic approach, because what happens is that you not only are looking at culture per se, heritage per se, but you're also bringing alive the whole entire gamut of things that move with it, whether it's jewelry, whether it's flower decoration, whether it's aharya, as you call it, and this is an
Ah, yes.
extended part of the aharya. So that is
Yes.
what one I would like
Absolutely.
people to look at, and
And I
increase. And people are. I'm not saying they aren't. They are looking at it. They are getting to it. It is still at the stage that there are options which look similar and they're cheaper. And dance, as you know, is the last profession where people do not want to pay for their tickets even to come and see a show, and you have to keep requesting people to come. So I understand all that, but given those circumstances, how can we change people's perception? And it can happen. It's not that it
It
can't
can
happen.
happen. There are very small steps to be taken in. It's not. I always believe to bring on a change, it doesn't need a very big movement. You just have to have small steps, and those make things change. And that's what we are looking forward to, these discussions also and live shows also. And Gauri Divakar is here, and she says namaste to both of you. And Vishal, Krishna, namaste, you both looking gorgeous. Vishal, I already thanked you earlier in the show for connecting me to संध्या जी. मैंने उनको बोल दिया कि मुझे नंबर आपने ही दिया था, और जबकि संध्या जी को हम सब जानते हैं, मैं भी बहुत बहुत अच्छी तरह जानती हूँ उनके काम के जरिए, पर उनका नंबर मेरे पास नहीं था. तो थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग मी हर नंबर. And we love you, Vishal, Krishna. Saumya Shukla says this is interview is extremely informative. Thank you, Alaknanda Didi, for bringing her closer to all of us. Yes, so you know now where you have to go for your costumes. So you're going to have. I think me and my whole gamut of students are going to now be on your studio for our costumes.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. And I told you, you're going to have. Look, Ayana Mukherjee, how beautiful to listen to you. Suman Chaudhary, great. Misha Ratan, namaste. And Misha Ratan says, you two beautiful ladies. I told you, Sandhyaji, right before the show that there's going to be a big rush for you. There's going to be a
Oh my
big rush
God.
for you. It's amazing, amazing. We have a lot of people to join us. I also want to know that, yes, I always believe that the artists have a responsibility, a society has the responsibility. What about the government? Do you think the government is doing enough for our weavers, for our textiles, for our artists?
I hope they would do. I'm sure they're doing something. I wouldn't say they're not doing anything, but it's not visible. Artists per se, I can't see anything that they're doing unless they had these Academy Awards and this and that. But I can see so many artists struggling. There's something they can't fall back on. With this COVID that has happened, where is the opportunity for them? There is social distancing. They're all the artists have taken onto the net. They've taken onto these Zoom performances, this performance, and all through the internet. So it's going to be a long journey for them to recover and come back onto main stage and wanting people to come and visit them, because back of the mind everybody is going to think, oh, will it be safe for me to go? And here is when the government's role is very, very important, because these are
Yes.
people who are actually the torchbearers, who are actually carrying such a beautiful heritage. And if you undermine their efforts and do not look at what these people all together as a community has been doing, it's sad. It shows the sad state of our country. If the artists are not respected, and if they're not taken care of, and if they're not provided for. I'm not saying do dole out charity. I'm saying do make provisions that they are
Yes.
able to access something, and they're able to run whatever they're doing. Or let institutions come up and say, okay, we are giving you some kind of funds or grants and things to each artist who can do something. And a year later, let this be like a token amount, a grant being given to you, and a year later or a year and a half later, perform, do something. Let these platforms be created. Give them insurance, give them these things. Each artist, I mean, this I've been talking to so many people and nobody seems to
Yes. Yes.
understand it. Each artist works so hard and breaks his knee or his ankle or something. Is there any kind of coverage? You go down to see a dance performance, you'll end up paying just 500 rupees or 250, and 250 to 500 and move off. This person has slogged for 15 years, have knee injuries. Every single artist that I know, whether it's about 30 to 60, has a knee problem. They've broken their knees just dancing and practicing. Is there any aid for them? Is there a government which will say, okay, those of you who are established for so many years, have contributed to the society, have done something for us, Can we look after you? Can we give you something? These are the thoughts a government can come into. You and me can't raise a fund and say, oh, let's do this. This is the holistic thing the government has to bring and say, we have a cover for you. We appreciate what you do. And see where it will go. It will go so far, you know?
Yes. Yes, I believe that, because even as artists, like at this point of time, I think every artist, whatever has been their ability and capacity, they have extended themselves and taking it forward to those artists who are not able to, fend for themselves or cover themselves up in these struggling times. But also that the sad part is when, if you come to the recent times, even the ECA quota with the artist was withdrawn from the admission. So you feel so shocked that, oh my God, how
And
can
then
this
all
be
the
possible?
artists have to get together and fight for it. I mean,
Yes,
first, how can you even think of withdrawing it?
absolutely.
You can
When
give
sports
sports as
can
a
be
quota,
there,
but you want to, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
sports
it's
can be there. Why can't arts be there?
now
And then
thankfully
the
it's been
survey,
reinstated,
you remember
and
the
considering
survey?
all the,
The
yeah,
survey
yeah, I
saying
do.
the artists are the most least essential.
Well,
Um,
there are two sides. Yeah, least essential services. There are two sides to that. Let's give them the benefit of doubt here, that they may have said that don't go around outside right now. Essential services like the doctors and the other people who need to come in out, let them move around because it's COVID times. So let's give
yeah.
the graphic input that somebody gave it, and it's a misinterpretation. I mean, I don't mind extending that as a benefit or doubt to people who made that poster. Of course,
Okay.
if that was if by 1% of a chance also, if that is what they thought, then I mean, God save them. But let us give them that benefit of doubt that maybe this is what they were trying to say. Oh, there's my faculty, Mahendra Patel. MC Hi. How wonderful. How wonderful to have him. He's the doyen of typography. He's one of the most famous designers in typography who taught me at my institute in NID. How nice to have him here.
Namaskar, Mahendra ji. Namaskar. Lovely to have you here. So nice. So nice. Yes, that was the main thing. Also, that I wanted to know another thing. Has the, because you are dealing with this textile and the weavers, has there been a unity and a community of togetherness to help the weavers and the industry people of from your industry, like people from your industry?
Yes, I would
Has
say
there been
yes.
extended?
Um, uh, I would say quite a bit. We have had many groups that have come up, and there's something called Hand for Handmade. There's something called Creative Dignity. All these people are coming together and saying, okay, let's place. Or even Tata's has come up with an initiative, which is very wonderful. That you book your orders in advance, and we'll deliver them, post September, so that there is money. There's no charity you're doing, but you are helping the morale of these craftsmen and these artists to, let them know things are going to be normal, and you can survive. You don't have to feel that what's going to happen. This whole gloom that what is going to happen to me, that is killing. So if somebody is there to say yes, we are there to support you, and we like these things that you make, we're ordering it in advance, paying you in advance, and then you deliver. But the commitment of delivery has to be there. Of course,
Yeah.
any such thing will have in between people coming in, trying to rook the other. So all this issues has to get resolved, and one has to be really upfront on, okay, clear on, yes, this is being done for a cause, and this has to be done truthfully. So that thing has to come out.
Right. And we have Sandeep ji saying hello to you. And me,
Yes.
Sandeep Dutta
Namaste.
Dada is saying, and we missed a question. I will try to
Yes.
pick up the question soon again. And there has been a question. Saumya just had put up a question. I'll just try to see where did it go. Okay, so again, when we come to the costume part of the discussion, I also wanted to know like that there are so many classical dance styles. If I take mainly Kathak, Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam, or Kathakali. So, what is that thing that you keep in mind when you go for your designing, and which style do you enjoy designing the most? I'm not
I'm
trying
not
to
biased
make it
about any
very, very.
style.
I'm not trying to make it very, very controversial. I
No, that
don't
is not controversial,
tend
and I
to.
enjoy every dance. I told you right in the beginning. I enjoy each and every dance form, and
Yes. So
so that there is no controversy in that. And what I keep in mind, I see Bharatanatyam itself has a lot of luxury and luxurious fabrics that you use. So
yes.
there's abundance of silks, and of course we use a lot of cottons also. And you asked me this question of what you keep in mind. Uh, you have to understand the dance grammar. And that is what I keep in mind, because if you know the dance grammar, or you at least try to learn the dance grammar or understand by just watching the rehearsals. I do watch the rehearsals. I go and see the rehearsals. Quite often, I'm able to do it. Some remote cases when the artist is very far, then it's difficult to see, but still the Skype and the Zoom has helped me now. The Skype has really helped me now, because I would watch rehearsals on the Skype and see what they're doing, and then interact with the artist. So it's a journey which starts right from day one of the concept the dancer has come up with. And if they have the confidence of sharing, they take you in confidence, and you come on board with them, and then the journey starts together. It's not that you just take a pen and draw out something and give it to them. You are not a miracle maker. You are working with them to give something that will fit what they desire.
Sandhyaji's Wi-Fi seems to have stuck. I'm sure she's going to be back. Sandhyaji, your Wi-Fi, your statue right now. Sandhyaji, and just let me give her a call if she's stuck up in the Wi-Fi. Let me give her a call. That's an interesting conversation going on, and there's a lot to understand from her, because we always enjoy a show and we walk off um, just applauding, but behind that work there's a lot of thinking and thought, and a process goes behind it, which is very important to understand. And that's why we have our showstoppers talking about it, and we have our showstoppers talking about their journeys and everything. So we will.
I lost you. Why?
Yeah, because your Wi-Fi. I'm still there
My
on.
Wi-Fi is running.
My Wi-Fi is also running. I'm still on the show, but
Okay, I'm trying to come back to that. It's saying
yes, yes, yes.
no, if the show is not there. It's saying it's
I am still there at the show,
Okay,
संध्या
okay.
जी. अब मैं अकेली आ गई हूँ स्क्रीन पे. आप नहीं हो. You need to
I'm
connect
just
again.
You continue talking.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
you
come
connect
out with
again.
it.
I'll add you to the stream. So it's very important to understand that the hard work that these artists do, and I call them artists, just not just the light designer or the photographer. A photographer is an artist. A light designer is an artist. A costume designer is an artist. A makeup artist is an artist already there. Even the anchoring who starts the show is an artist. So it's very important to understand how much goes into their work. And Soumya, we will definitely come back to your question. गीत गोविंद की हमने अभी बात की थी विशाल संध्या जी से, एंड वंडरफुल दैट she had done your costume so beautifully. मतलब I have seen so many Krishna costumes since 1980 from Kathakendra, but it was amazing to see a very different kind of a Krishna costume, to be, which was displayed, and how she had conceived it and how you looked was a very different. So it was wonderful to see your costume designed by Sandhya ji, and it was amazing, amazing. And asks Anita ji says, asked Sandhya if she had any costume mishap on stage, approach difference between classical and contemporary dance designs. Anita ji, I will definitely ask her. It seems her Wi-Fi is having a little issue and she should be back with us soon. I will definitely put up this thing. Although she said that costume malfunctioning is not allowed, and that's what the designer takes the responsibility of not allowing a costume malfunction, because she thinks that the freedom of performance or the art comes to an artist when she's sure or he's sure that there's going to be no malfunctioning due to the design. So we are just trying to get back Sandhya ji back on over here. Yes, this is a very big problem of connecting and the Wi-Fi, because being the lockdown, we all are there on the Wi-Fi. तो मैं गाना गा दूं जब तक वो आ रही है? कौन सा गाना गाऊं? माय फेवरेट, मतलब फेवरेट तो बहुत सारे हैं, पर ये वाला मुझे अच्छा। अजीब दास्ता है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, ना वो समझ सके ना हम, अजीब दास्ता है ये। संध्या जी आ जाओ जी, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम, अजीब दास्ता है ये। मुबारक तुम्ही कि तुम किसी के नूर हो गए, मुबारक तुम्ही कि तुम किसी के नूर हो गए, किसी के इतने पास हो कि सबसे दूर हो गए, अजीब दास्ता है ये। आ जाओ प्लीज, आ जाओ, आओ ना गले लगाओ ना, लगी बुझाओ ना, ऊंचा निजा, तुमने जो अगन लगाई है, न न न न न न, कहाँ कहाँ। अरे मैं हूँ शो पे या नहीं हूँ यार, ये तो बता दो मुझे कोई। मैं संध्या जी का वेट कर रही हूँ, पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम हुई है। मुझे लगता है आई हैव टू डू सम। हाँ, इट्स अ कॉल फ्रॉम हर। यस संध्या जी। You are there. Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you, Sangeeta, for connecting me. And Sandhya ji is trying to connect me. I think her Wi-Fi is giving a major rush to her. वाकई में संगीता यार झाड़ फूक करनी पड़ेगी, और इस वाले पंगे को हटाना पड़ेगा। आओ ना गले लगाओ ना, लगी बुझाओ ना, ओ जान जा, तुमने जो अगन लगाई है, ना 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 ना। संध्या जी, what happened? It's opening? Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. There are many people, they have lots of questions. So, yes, 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 yes. She's coming, she's coming, she's coming soon. So bear with us. होता है, बड़े बड़े शो में ऐसी छोटी छोटी हरकतें होती हैं, बड़े बड़े शहरों में होती है, तो बड़े बड़े शोज में भी हो सके। मैं ऐसा नहीं कि मैं बहुत बोल रही हूँ कि मेरा शो बहुत बड़ा है, ऐसा नहीं है। इट वाज जस्ट अ डायलॉग टू कीप यू ऑल एंटरटेन। लेमन और मिर्ची लगाओ, यस, एंड वी वर एंजॉयिंग योर सिंगिंग, यस, वी कैन सी यू, यस। सो वो आ रही हैं, वो आ रही हैं, उनका इंतजार है। इंतहा हो गई इंतजार की, जुजू 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 जुजू, आई ना कुछ खबर हो मेरी यार की ज ज ज ज ज ज ज ज ज ज ज, ये हमें है यकीन बेवफा वो नहीं, फिर वजह क्या हुई, इंतजार की वजह है वाईफाई 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 का पंगा जो सभी कोई फेस कर रहे हैं। विशाल ऐसे खाली खाली कमेंट नहीं देते हैं, कमेंट में कुछ लिखना भी होता है, ऐसे खाली खाली कमेंट में ऐसा नहीं चलता है। द नेक पीस इज फ्रॉम बुडापेस्ट, यस, द tree of life from Budapest. Yes, this is a gold work. Yes, wherever I travel, I try to buy something from that country or that place which is different. Yes, you are correct. Saumya Shukla, beautiful eyes shadow कह रहा है विशाल कृष्णा। थैंक यू विशाल। ये हुई ना बात, ये खाली कमेंट खाली काय को रख रहा है। और जैसे कि मैंने आपको आज का मसाला बताया कि मेरे पास कॉल आई कि पुलिस स्टेशन से बोल रहे हैं, थाने से बोल रहे हैं, आपके अगेंस्ट कंप्लेन है, आपने कुछ ऐसा बोला है, किसी को हर्ट कर गया। मैंने कहा अरे सामने तो लाओ भाई, सामने तो लाओ, जरा मिलवाओ, क्योंकि जो अधिकार उनके हैं वो अधिकार मेरे भी हैं। So it's not that if you are not liking something, you can go ahead and complain. Yes, if you have a proof, प्लीज गेट योर प्रूफ। तो आज जो स्पाइस था एकदम शो से पहले शुरू हुआ कि मेरे को पुलिस स्टेशन से फोन आया कि मैडम आपने कुछ ऐसा बोला है कि आप, अरे यार तो ये तो पूरा सेलिब्रिटी स्टेटस ही हो गया, सलमान खान वाला फील आ रहा है मुझको, सलमान खान वाला फील आ रहा है। सो आपने कुछ ऐसा बोला अपने शो में कि आपके अगेंस्ट कंप्लेन है। मैंने कहा लाइए कंप्लेन, लाइए जरा, और जिसने डाली है बड़ा बहुत बताइए उनको कि अगर हिम्मत है तो सामने आए। ऐसे तो थाने में जान पहचान हमारी भी है, हमारे भी दोस्त हैं जो कि फीमेल इंस्पेक्टर या डीसीपी वगैरह भी है। तो दैट वाज द स्पाइस टुडे जस्ट बिफोर द शो। एंड हाँ, वाट लगाई मैंने। जब तक संध्या जी नहीं आती है, प्लीज आप मेरी ये सब झेलिए। बट या it was quite spice up because getting a call from the police station that I have said something in the YouTube in my show and somebody got um, agitated. Oh wow, that's a lovely thing. It's a complete celebrity feeling, you get. But it's not that I'm scared of anything because we are living in a democratic country. If that person has a right and has a full right, even I have my full right. तो मैंने कहा लाइए जरा प्रूफ लाइए, और ऐसी बात है तो थानेदार का कंप्लेन का लेटर विथ थप्पा लाइए। सो ऐसा हुआ कि हमने बोला कि अगर ऐसी बात है तो जरा सामने तो लाइए, तशरीफ लाइए, अगर आपके पास हमारा नंबर है तो एड्रेस भी आपको मिल जाएगा, हाजिर हो जाइए। यस, ऐसा होता है लाइफ में, कोई बात नहीं, डरना नहीं है, जो डर गया सो मर गया, तो मरने की अभी टाइम नहीं है मेरे पास। सो फिर मैंने एक तो फिर बोला कि आपके पास परमिशन है मेरे को कॉल करने का, आप कौन है, डीसीपी हैं, फलाना है, ये है, तो जनाब के पास परमिशन तो नहीं था, तो क्या करें। सो फिर शाम आई। हाँ, मतलब मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना विभा कपूर जी, मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है विभा जी कि एक तो आई डोंट टेक नेम्स। इफ आई हैव टू फाइट विद समबडी आई फाइट डायरेक्टली, आई डोंट नीड समबडी इन बिटवीन टू फाइट फॉर मी। And if somebody has a problem with me, should come to me directly. If I have made a mistake, I would say sorry. If I have not, then मैं भी भैया, मैं भी चढ़ने वाली हूँ, मैं भी नहीं छोड़ने वाली। What the hell, सामने तो आओ भाई। यस, मैंने भी वही बोला, सामने तो आओ भाई। मैंने इतने तमीज से नहीं बोला, मैंने थोड़ा सा हड़का के बोला सामने तो आओ भाई। तो हमारे पास भी पुलिस स्टेशन है, तो हमारे पास भी कोर्ट है, हाई कोर्ट है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, चलते हैं जरा सैर करके आते हैं। अरे संध्या जी आ जाओ, आओ ना, गले लगाओ ना, लगी बुझाओ ना, ओ जाने जा, तुमने जो अगर लगाई है ना ना ना। आ गई, मुझे उनका नाम दिख रहा है। यस, Satya, what happened?
I don't know. Suddenly it just went off, and I'm struggling, trying to get back. So I always say, everybody tells that, electronics and you, there's something.
Yeah.
So it has to go wrong. Nothing can go smoothly with electronics and me. So
yes.
Ye to
The
chalega hi.
digital video is really crazy. The digital world is really crazy. And there's so many people. Thomas Clark says, please check your messenger and reply. Thanks. Thomas, she would do that tonight itself. Yes, Sandhyaji. Thomas Clark को please reply कर दीजिएगा messenger पे. And Saumya Shukla says, ma'am, in your experience and lifetime, how would you describe the detailing and hard work that goes in the preparing the costume and a look of the European theatre performance as compared to the Indian traditional performances? इसके साथ मैं अनीता रत्नम जी का क्वेश्चन ऐड ऑन करूंगी बिकॉज दैट ऑल्सो विल हैव क्वाइट अ रेफरेंस टू द सेम thing that Saumya has asked. She asked Sandhya if she had any costume mishap on stage, approach difference between classical and contemporary dance design. How was classical and European? Anita ji is asking about classical and contemporary. And
of course,
Alaknanda,
like I said, I'm no magician. Like I said, I'm no magician. I work hard and every day I'm learning. So to go back to my first costume, of course, I started my costume with Battery Dance Company, and then Malika Sarabhai, and then moved in, and then Anita Ratnam. I met her. I didn't meet her at that time. She had written to me saying she's planning to do a costume where she's going to be doing a sutradhar, and she's going to do multiple roles on this, and she's a Bharatanatyam dancer, right? So I made a costume for her, which she couldn't work on it in terms. I had this sutradhar in my mind who would just walk in and talk and then move on, whereas she's going to be dancing, which the understanding was not there then. And then, of course, it was a beautiful costume. She wore it as an MC or something at some place, but she never wore it for a performance. So that's how the learning journey starts, and the curve is there, where you realize, yes, every solution that you give isn't the right solution. So you have to understand, accept that, and then move on. And as for Saumya's question, there is a lot of intricate work in our costume, and we earlier were just focusing on the depth of the dance, the depth of the movement, what is happening. It's a very philosophical journey. It's a very spiritual journey that we're taking through dance, till it became a proscenium performance where people are coming to look at it. So when it was towards a spiritual purpose, then you were not looking at how to embellish it and how to enhance it. The minute it moved from the spiritual journey and it's coming to a stage where you're going to have an audience sitting with you for an hour watching you, then you need to give the best. Then every detail has to be taken care of. European costumes has a lot of detailing. I'm not saying it's not there. Also, they have a lot of funds with it. If we get this kind of funds, the kind of rich fabrics, the rich textiles that we have, the crafts that we have, amazing work can be done. So it is on you dancers how much depth you want in your costume, how much mood you want. There are very few handful of dancers who put in that kind of effort into the fabric, into the finish, and enjoy what they're doing and repeatedly do that. And I would not name anybody, but here I have dancers who work diligently with me, so in depth that, okay, it is working, it's not working, let's move ahead, let's see, we need to refine it, let's take it further. So those are the things that make the costume speak, That's what is the beauty of the costume. And then when you look at the costume on stage, it's so simple and you just feel, what have they done in it? But actually, that the simplicity is what makes it so beautiful.
Beautiful. And when the approach difference between the classical and the contemporary dance costumes, do you have a different approach towards both the styles? Because classical has a very traditional kind of a mindset, and contemporary is more experimental.
Yes. Not only that, I like to stick to at least one base of the classical dance. When I say one base is, I can't change everything because I can't confuse the audience. Everybody is not so aware of what dance form they are watch it. So if they want to see a kuchipudi dance, or they want to see a Odissi dance, some stem or a spine I have to keep alive. Whether it's through the, so if a dancer is decided in my classical dance form, I'm going to give a contemporary or a modern look to it, then some spine of the dance form I have to keep alive for the audience to connect. So I try to be close to that in terms of whether the fabrics or the silhouette or the colors that I'm using, the way I'm treating, and be as pure as possible. Yet giving a very, very forward thinking, because my idea is to connect the younger generation to the dance, not to think that, oh, these are all classical dances, there's no need to go and watch it. To see what it is, to understand this dance, and imbibe from that. That journey is very beautiful, and you have to move ahead forward with the audience. You have to move ahead and forward with the generation. You have to understand what they want and what they
Yes.
want to see, and bring them at the same level as yours, because there's no harm in coming. You don't have to sit in some stage of yours and say, okay, we have evolved and we have been that. You bring them along. And heritage is what? Every journey you move, every year that is adding on, we're adding on all these things only as a part of our culture. That is what it is. It's not that culture is in a box in 1940 and then suddenly it's put here. It's journey that is making, and it's whatever it is today. Today's Indian is very different than what it was, he or she was in 1930s or 1920s. Our lookout, the way we think, what we do, the exposures we have, the multitasking we do, everything is there now.
Absolutely. And Vishal Krishna says, Geet Govind ki koi memory. In fact, I was telling you while you were not there that.
Geet, I have to tell you this, the most cutest thing that happened.
Acha,
That
हाँ, बताइए, please, you will
Vishal came in and I had to do his costume. And he said his grandmother would never let him wear a stitched dhoti. आप कमाल करती हैं कैसे मेरी So I said, Vishal, I'm doing the costumes and I want you to be free on stage. So let me stitch your dhoti and it will look like you've draped it. And he said, no, मेरे को ड्रेप धोती पहनी हुई धोती मेरी ग्रैंडमदर ने जो बताया वैसे ही पहनूंगा. Finally, he gave in, and finally, it looked gorgeous on him, and he agreed the easiness of the whole costume, and it was really, really nice. It was fun.
So sweet, Vishal. That's so cute of you. नहीं, चिंता मत करो, सितारा देवी जी ऊपर से तुमको आशीर्वाद ही दे रही है. Don't worry. अब वो कभी कभी कहता है कि दीदी हाउ आर यू लाइक दिस. मुझे कभी कभी लगता है कि मेरी दादी की जो आत्मा है ना आपके अंदर घुस गई है. With all the harkates that I do. But I must say, when I saw Vishal as Krishna in the Geet Govind, I felt that you really made him very different from the Krishnas that I've been watching so far. I've been in Kathak industry since 1980. And मैंने बहुत सारे कृष्णास देखे हैं, मतलब बहुत सारे, from Jai Kishan Maharaj to maybe sometimes Deepak Maharaj also, and in the Bharatiya Kala Kendra में भी मैंने बहुत सारे कृष्णास देखे. But when Geet Govind happened, and it was again yet another Krishna, but it was completely different. And it was amazing, the whole get-up that you gave, and the orchids, flowers, and it was amazing. I really fell in love with that.
That's a very beautiful production, both by, and this Vishal and his locks, and
Yes.
it was really beautiful. So I loved my character. I loved my Krishna over there, because the way his hair was, the way he came across as a very soft and fun-loving
Yes.
Krishna. It was really nice. So it was fun. I still owe him his treat, which I didn't have. We were supposed to go for a treat after the show, and I had to run off somewhere.
Also. Sure, please.
It's a lot of over, and we're all partying.
Yeah, we all party, absolutely. And Sangeeta Das Banji has a question. I have always wondered why artists come together and showcase traditional weaves art don't come across, and along with cultural shows have exhibition. There is already an audience available, so why not increase the benefit of it? Do you think
we
this
just spoke about that, no?
Huh?
We did speak that the artists have to do it.
Why not have it combine it with the shows that the artists are already putting up, and there are already people there to watch. We have an audience for the dance also, so why not put in textile exhibitions also? in that audience?
See, when you come to see a show, you come to see a performance. You come to experience what the artist is saying. You're not come to buying things. So combining a sale aspect to a experience aspect, unless you're making something as an experiential design where there is a performance and post that you go ahead and buy things, it's possible. You can always think out of the box. You can always have new avenues to promote both. So far it's been that there's an auditorium and you need all this, and you know
A dance
you
performance.
perform and you have a concentration given to the a dancer. I mean, the audience are looking at her. Whereas if there's a distraction of people getting up and saying, oh, let me pick up what sari is there, or let me pick up this fabric, it's going to take away. So it should be either first or later. It is possible. We can think about these things. I mean, there are performances in the open and we have people doing certain things. There is no rule that it can't happen. It has to be worked out with the artists and the people who host these shows.
Absolutely. The whole concepts too would be
Sandeep says,
crushed.
which background do you prefer, black,
Yes.
white for costumes?
Dada is thinking about his light design also. But as you answer this question, his brains will be running towards his light designing.
I don't mind either. Depends on what color my costumes are. So if the mood calls for a white background, I don't mind a white background. I don't mind either. In fact, there was a show, I think Faces, in which we had beige, just beige. Anita had done the show, and the backdrop just of the forest scene with colors of tussar. The entire background of tussar colors look gorgeous. So I am not against any backdrop color.
Wow.
Black or white, both are okay with me.
Wow. Amazing. And Sangeeta saying, I'm not talking about selling. I'm talking about increasing awareness.
Sure, Sangeeta. I did a show on costumes called on textiles called The Enchanted Tree, and then I took it to Kentucky. Collaborated with the artist there called Lakshmi Shriman, and we did You, Me, and Rumi, where we talked about the essence of textiles, and she talked about the dance, and she danced, and we had 5 or 6 more artists coming in and showing the expressions. And I talked about the textiles, the depth of the textiles, and what they are, the elements of the textiles, and what Indian textiles are all about, the beauty of it, and why we use a textile, a certain weave, what it depicts, and how to connect these. So I also talked about Tulsi Das's verse of, Genie Genie, and then move ahead with connecting the 5 elements and the 5 senses with these textiles. So we have an audience which is interested. In our country per se, everything is taken for granted that we know all these things. But I find the Westerners more inquisitive because they have a dearth of this and they do not understand these textiles. So there was a very they were receptive to know what is happening and what I'm talking about. Here we think we know. That's the scene where mostly everybody thinks they know the fabrics and they choose certain fabrics that this looks nice on me and this color looks nice on me. So that's something we're working on with people now. With so many years of working with our dancers, one has been able to establish that the importance of understanding the textile, understanding the form and the age for which you're designing, for who the dancer is, what is her persona. Everything plays a very important role.
Also, I would like to know, because when we talk about careers, a very important thing that comes to our mind, or choosing any career, comes the finance. How good is finance? How well do you earn in this profession? Because like I've always said कि corporate job में जाओ तो 30,000 से तो शुरू करोगे, 30K, 50K, 60K, and like you're always looking at that K which comes behind and the digit which comes in front of that K. So how good is the financial stability in this profession?
It doesn't start on day one. You work very hard like any dancer does, and it takes time for it to rise up and go wherever and ask for what your rates are, but still, I would not say it's easy. And if you just think you're going to do costume design and you can build your castle, or you can plan your European holidays every year or whatever, there is a very big question mark over there, especially if you're talking about costumes for dance. It's not costumes of film, there's still possibility. And especially if you're doing things, the kind of work I do. But yes, there is immense satisfaction, and there's immense feeling of achievement when you see what you've done works well. And you have to be passionate about costuming and dance to take up this profession. It is not something which you think that okay, I'll draw something on a sketchbook and it will work out immediately. No, you have to really understand and ready to listen to your dancer to say, it doesn't work for me. You might have done very well. You have to take the feedback to say, can you do this again? And also respect what they are saying, their experiences. Give what you have in your conviction. With years, you understand what works for them. And sometimes you have to put your foot down, but many times you have to listen to them also, because finally they have to be comfortable.
Right. But before I take another girl's question, Tamara, I would like to ask you one question. Does the costume help a heavy, like I'm heavy dancer, an artist, does it help you to look a little slimmer? And
that's every dancer's dream. Every dancer wants to look absolutely slim on stage. And I keep saying, don't worry about your body type. It's the dance we're looking at. We're not looking at your body.
I am not. I'm very happy dancing. I really don't give it a thought also, because first I dance for myself. First my art is for myself. So if I'm happy, I think it transcends to the audience also. So it is nice. But does a costume help you to look a little slimmer or something?
It does. It does highlight. It does highlight and accentuate what you want to highlight and accentuate. It does work. But also that you can't depend totally on the costume to make you look slim. But you have to work on that and keep your body in complete fitness when you're a dancer. That's like a job requirement. If you take yourself as a professional dancer, then you need to be up with that of keeping yourself fit and being there, because you have to be dancing and you can't be
the energy level should be good. The energy level should be good.
True.
Perfect. Yeah, the energy level should be very good. And here Tamanna Tiku says, ma'am, can you talk about the combination of costume design and production stage design? Have you collaborated with production designers for the holistic effect?
Yeah, I have myself done production design. I worked with and stage design. I've collaborated with some production design people and done a larger set and larger things. Over here, still, I would say it's nascent. People are getting into doing it, but a couple of my clients abroad have taken the holistic view, and then that's how they work on it. Right now, some of the senior dancers put a lot of emphasis on the complete look, and that's when we are working together and bringing the effect that is desired.
Sandhyaji, do you think the work by artists in India and work demanded by artists abroad, overseas, what is the difference in the attitude that you feel that the artists in India expect this and they have these issues, or about the abroad artists who are overseas, they have this work attitude? How about the work ethics of the artists who come to you from India and work ethic artists who come from overseas?
That's a tough question, but yeah, it's with me it's been positive. I've had great relationships with my artists, and over the years I've built that rapport, and I've instilled that faith and confidence in them that I'm there with them, and so work-wise they respect, and the respect is mutual. It takes the initial hitch, or I would say the initial bridge that you have to cross of trust. once you make that trust and that bonding, then it's fine. And in terms of work ethics, I find that we still, as a country, we are still nascent in design. So we literally think, what's trending? Oh, she's done something, let me change it and let me adapt it a little. Uska blouse ka color change kar dete and let me make the whole something to look like that and wear that. Whereas outside, it's not like that. They make for themselves. They don't. If they're doing a production, if it's a proper, they invest in the costume. So
Okay.
there is this disparate, this difference that I see a lot, but it doesn't bother me anymore, because for earlier I used to be really upset people copying and they're making this, but now I feel my journey is such. It's been that you have done, and you have, that design has left your sketchboard, right? Your sketchbook, and it's gone and it's been produced, it's been aired, people have seen it. If somebody's getting inspired and they're making it, it's still, they're making it after looking at your work. So you're sensitizing them, and they are using that. There will be a day when they'll stop uh, copying the other dancers' work or the other dancers'
Yes.
costume, and they will invest. Let the journey happen. That's what I look at it now. Earlier, I used to be so upset and say, "Oh, this one is copied mine." That was when I was much
Yes.
younger. But as I've
Yes.
matured, I feel my objective is what? Why did I do a costume design? Is that when people come in, and what used to really bother me is people abroad used to think that Indian dancers don't have taste, and they come with these crushed costumes, and they come with really unkempt finishes and really badly done costumes and loud taste and all. And I would be really upset of it, because the institutions we send you abroad has to really look into this. You are being presented as culture and heritage of this country, and you cannot have a dancer come on stage with shabby costumes, and
Absolutely.
that has to be really the mark to say, when you go out for a party, you dress up well, you have the finest fabrics, you have the finest silks, you have the finest finishes and embroideries. But when you're presenting your craft, that is your dance, then why do you fall back on, why do you go into this stage where people can comment on your clothes like this? So that is something really upsets me. So now when people look at it, I say, okay, now people are getting sensitized and they're looking at this, the color sense is getting better. I'm happy that way also. So it's not that I can design all the costumes for every dancer over here, but something's happening, it's fun, and you see more
It's
people with beautiful performances and nice photographs also, you're seeing here and there, right? And Inni must be having a great time shooting them now.
Yes, yes. Ini and Sangeeta Das Banerjee, both of them are photographers, very ace photographers, and both of them are my friends. So, in fact, for my show, I had both Ini and Sangeeta for the same show, and even Ashwini Chopra ji. So, people were quite shocked that three photographers for one event that I had booked. I said, because I want different point of view and different angle of photos, and all of them have a different ace in their photographs. So I said, I want to capture it all. So you're going to capture. So all three of them were for one of my events. And here Saumya Shukla says, ma'am, what would be a message to young people who are still learning their respective dance forms and trying to step into the performing arena with regards to paying attention to details and what they wear?
I would say, if you are conscious now and you look into details, then life is made. Your dance form will just enhance itself on its own, because finally dance is all about detail. You think of it like an expression of your abhinaya. The more you get into it, the more depth you have, the more rust comes out. So is the costume. The more you get into it, the more you enjoy looking at the dance.
Absolutely. And Santosh Nai is here. Hi, Sandhya. Just wanted to know how was your experience to work with us for the recent production and otherwise.
It was such fun working with Santosh and his team. Bunch of live wire dancers, and I interacted with them when they did first with my show of the Enigmatic East, where I did the like for a textile revivalism. I told you that I did the working with the crafts, the weaves of Arunachal Pradesh, and I didn't want it to be a regular fashion show. I never liked a ramp walk, so I just wanted the artists to present it. So the dancers came in, the men and came in and performed, and then we moved on to show the clothes because we had to show the clothes also. And it was such a beautiful evening. It was really enjoyable. And then we did a show with Santosh where we talked about Rudra Pratap, and it was really nice. Enjoyed working with him, and it's always nice because the guys wanted to say, "Ma'am, आप हमारा डिटेल भी कर दीजिएगा, ज्वेलरी भी बता दीजिएगा क्या करना है." So it was really nice to work with people who wanted to do that. So Santosh, I really enjoyed working with you. All your team is awesome.
Santosh, now you got what you wanted from this show and Sandhyaji. Amazing. His work is also very nice, knowing him for a long time. And Sandhya says that, Saumya says that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Sitting down today, you have seen the past phase of your journey, and sitting down today at the COVID-19 thing happening. What is your expectation, and what future do you see in your profession and into the scene of artists?
For the artists?
Come
You're
again?
asking what I'm thinking for the artist. Is that what you're asking?
What are you expecting, and how do you see the future ahead?
It's going to be a little long. I don't see anything happening till February or March. So this year we're all going to erase 2020 from our achievement books of what we have done. We've achieved to find our roots. We've achieved to be with our family. We've achieved to calm down and not be in a rush and understand what we want to do. Each one has gone into introspection and seen what is their strengths. For me, that I had to ensure that my team, who are highly skilled and trained, their morale is high and their skills are appreciated, and they do not feel redundant, and they don't feel like the migrant labor who came in and who walked back. So I ensured that they are here only and that they will be taken care of. And we are stretching our borders. We've been getting to do face masks for people, and we're doing many things with that. And we will be slowly adding on and coming back to the mainstream of costuming, which will take some more time. But respect for the crafts is what is so important. And as a community of artists, we have to stand for each other and not let anybody rule us, and say we are not important or shun us and we are not important. We make the society. And if each one of us, the artist community, was together and extend their hand, helping hand, I think it's going to work beautifully.
It's
So
going to,
it's
the
just
journey is going to be more
a
beautiful.
positive feeling one has to have about it.
Yeah. And here Sangeeta asks, what do you feel about the experimental costumes being used by few traditional dancers, especially in Kathak? Kathak pe war, hanji.
Well, it's interesting to see many things that is happening, and there is no reason why they cannot experiment, as long as they know that it fits well, it works well, and it is apt for the theme. And it's their expression, so they should be allowed to dream the way they want to dream and allowed to do what they want to do. But like I said, if there are dancers which make a difference. See, there are hundreds and thousands of dancers, but many dancers make a difference. Now, those dancers who make a difference have the added responsibility. So even if they're doing a contemporary style, they need to weigh the pros and cons of what they are trying to project. And that is what goes down, and that is what is important. So if they're able to answer their own, the questions have to be asked. If they're able to answer them, then what's wrong? Go ahead.
Absolutely. That's why, Sandhyaji, these kind of shows are very important, where we are questioning, we are talking, and I'm sure these discussions will make some changes, even minute catalyst change also would be really really appreciated. So the most important thing I feel is to talk and discuss things so that we know what we are looking forward to and what we are expecting. Sandhyaji, have you curated exhibitions, textiles, craft, etc. by Vibha Kapoor ji from ICCR?
Yes,
Vibha
I
ji is
have.
asking.
Yes, I have one, a couple of them, and I started my first exhibition way back in NIT for Discovery of India, where I walked through the dioramas. I did a couple of dioramas over there, where I projected, showcased the commonality between the drapes around the coastal range from Kerala to Orissa, right through the drapes, how the drapes change. That was my first exhibition. Then a couple of years, almost 8 years or 9 years back, I did 8 years or 6 years back, I worked with Geeta on When the Pleats Dance, where I showcased 40 years of a dance journey and how in those 40 years, 30 years, what difference one has done to the costuming. That, and then like I just mentioned, the Enchanted Tree, where I talked about textiles and how to take it ahead, and the showcasing textiles from India and how the five elements and five senses make it what it is, and how each fabric has its own energy and what it communicates. For example, I talked about the wind and the organza together. I talked about silk and the element of water together. So that's how I combine these senses and the elements and projected this whole thing. So it was a very interesting journey. And this exhibition was presented to the UNESCO World Heritage Forum, and that was very well appreciated. And that was at IIC.
Oh, lovely. And I had a question. What's your favorite textile? What do you like to do? Because I see that today you're wearing something from the
Yeah.
east of
Today's
India.
the flavor is east. Today's northeast.
Yes.
Today's flavor is northeast. Well, I like natural fabrics, any kind of natural fabrics, depending on the season, depending on the mood. And I like a rough texture. I like coarse textures. Texture is very important to me. Play of textures and colors are very important to me. And I don't like anything off the face of jarring, heavily done. So I like subtle finishes and subtle details. That's my love for fabrics.
Also, do you think that these textures, the when the textures of this any cloth, also goes along with the colors? They have a quite of dependability with the colors or the harmony with the colors.
Uh,
Like when I
I,
think of Assam silk or the silk, the pure silk of Assam, that brown ghee color is the best I feel, which goes muga. The muga is the best which goes. Do you think colors and the textile
what
have
you're
a
actually
relationship?
saying, is the natural colors with the natural fabric. You
Yes.
know, you in voluntarily, or in the by this thing, by accent, you're
Yes.
saying that naturals is what is the best, and that's true. Anything added
Yeah.
is added, right? But what is natural? But then we need colors. We need to put in the entire spectrum of colors that we look at. So
Yes.
if you go into technicality, there are certain colors which do bleed, they do leak. You can't stop them unless you move on to polyesters and things. And I don't work with polyesters, I work with natural fabrics. And natural colors, whether it is vegetable dye or whatever, that is what is the that is a fabric which you keep looking at, and you appreciate it as it wears out. The more you use it, the more you enjoy it. It is not
Yes.
something that goes away. It doesn't fade out of. Even it's older, it's softer, and it's you want to wear it. and then you keep them for special occasions like this as well, and you cherish it. And as far as fabrics, if you buy the right fabric with the right amount of input in it, where which is a pride to possess, then you'll start collecting them, and then you'll appreciate them. When you start appreciating them, you won't discard them, and when you don't discard them, you don't cause the pollution levels of textiles and fashion is the biggest pollutant. You're environmentally friendly because you are looking at these things and enjoying them and keeping them. You're not buying just because you want the change. You're appreciating what the person has done as a craft, as a textile, and you're understanding the essence and you're understanding the effort that has gone into making this. And the minute you do that, your appreciation levels go up and the love for the fabric will come.
Yes, because many a times I feel there's a very direct connection of the color and the fabric or the textile or the feel. Like if I'm wearing a kanjivaram, like I love that gold in kanjivaram also, and the reds.
Yeah, certain fabrics behave in a certain way. Like any silk, you want it to be bright, you want it to be luxurious, you want it to be rich, right? So those are associated with it. But if you take kota, you want it to be soft and dull and whites and pastels, and that's what you're looking in a kota. So
actually, even the Bengal tat, if you see, it's white and red. I feel soothes my soul and body. So I always feel that tat has another connection of white and red. Maybe it's my mind. It's my mind, which is.
It's the traditional look that you're preferring over the contemporary look or the modern look. But I wouldn't run down or I wouldn't dismiss the colors that are coming up, because they're very interesting colors which are coming up.
Yes.
Off late, lemon yellow is in, and a lot of people are picking up beautiful tan sarees in plain lemon yellow with a dash of white, and it looks very refreshing in summer. So the season also dictates the mood of the color which comes up.
Yes. And we have Piyush Raj asking you, do male dancers approach you for costume design, or they feel that is not needed for male dancers? If they do approach you, any peculiar challenges you face for designing costumes for male dancers?
No, I haven't faced any challenge of designing for male costumes. They do approach, not too many. Male dancers are still in a lot of paucity in terms of you don't get so many male dancers who want to get costumes done, and especially in classical dance forms. But yes, I have had worked with a lot of male dancers, and I would say they are as easy as the women dancers. I have never had a problem working with them. It's enjoyable to work with them. Whether it was Astad or whether it was Jonathan or whether it was Vishal or whether it was Santosh, all these guys were absolutely splendid. It was enjoyable to do. You feel there's something peculiar? I would love to really. I haven't found any peculiarity in them, so I want to know. What is it that you think would be peculiar?
You need to go to Sandhyaji now for your costume.
Piyush is a good friend, so
yes, very nice. Sure. I wanted to ask you that what is your personal favorite production costume that you have done, or any performance costume that you have done, without not without annoying anybody or putting anybody down?
I've enjoyed every costume that I've done, so I can't say this is my favorite. There's something which I really loved in one production. If I say I enjoyed Astad's Vaito Gandhi or Anita's Saraswati that I did, or Andal I did for somebody, or it's just or Aditi's costume that I've done. Or even Namrata's, I put my full 100% into them, so I can't be partial. But yes, I enjoy the process. If I get a clean slate, and then if somebody says, "Go ahead, do what you feel," and so those kind of projects are amazing. Like I did this with Sheila for We the Women, or with Hema Rajagopalan, where she she completely gave me a free hand to do whatever I felt like for interrupted. I think that's what she was called, which was the Bharatanatyam and Indonesian dance, or Latapada. I mean, one could work with the textiles and talk about it. Or, I mean, I've had fabulous collaborators here also with Geeta Chandran and Anita
Um,
Ratnam. And so it's been wonderful journey with them. So I wouldn't say this is my special and this is not. Each costume there's something, and there's scope to move ahead and do more.
yes, Krishna, thanks. Yes, yes, waiting to go and meet her and work together. Amazing. The same thing
Just
I'm
waiting for
waiting
the
to do.
COVID to get over, Piyush. We'll be there.
Yes, actually, Sandhyaji, we need to meet and we need to go work together, have one of the exclusive costume, not one, just one to state. I'm quite a collector of costumes. Every time that I have something to perform, I love to have a new costume. I usually don't. Unless needed, I don't repeat my costume. So I would love to come to you and get new costumes
Pleasure.
done by you.
Pleasure's completely mine.
And Sandhya ji, also, what do you do when you're? Well, I don't want it to be a very serious thing. Just what do you do when you have a free time, and how does your family react to your passion for work?
My family, everybody is a designer. Everybody is either pursuing design or is a designer. So
Okay,
it's a creative
collaboration of family.
collaboration where somebody is my husband runs a design company which is into industrial design, product design, and my daughter is just an advertising design, and she's just come back from uh, SCAD US, and my son is doing filmmaking. So it's a full on. But I'm a family person. I have a very full family with my parents and my sister and my in-laws and everybody, and we enjoy our time together, and we look forward meeting each other and do Skype calls, or right now during COVID it's been just FaceTime or Skype calls or whatever. And I love cooking also, and I enjoy
Wow,
making up things, and it's a lot of creativity that goes in, so it's fun. It's so
fun.
that's how my time goes. And of course, when there was no COVID, one would go and see performances, one would go and
Yeah,
visit
yeah.
friends
This
or go
COVID is
and sit
going
there.
too long,
So
too
when it's
long.
not there, I have really not sat on the internet and watched shows, because I feel I need to go there and see them, and I don't want to overload of shows happening on the internet, and that should not be the final thing I feel. But yes, I've watched a couple of things, seen what people are saying, and talking to people. Saturdays are reserved for friends, so we do try to do a Zoom and unwind. So it's good fun.
Good
And
fun.
yes, I work with the craft sector. I work with artisans, so I am working in their development and seeing what can be done for them.
Right. Lovely talking to you, Sandhya ji. It was amazing. With a little abrupt in between, doesn't matter. बड़े बड़े shows में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. कोई बात नहीं.
That's what makes it more interesting, na? कि like
Yes, yes,
कुछ
yes.
चल रहा है.
I just sang few songs for the audience,
So
and
sweet, how nice.
then I also recited one of the spicy incident just happened before the show started, that I got a call from police station कि आपके YouTube के बारे में किसी ने complain किया. मैंने कहा okay, ठीक है, so you'll get to see in the show. So I tried to spice it up, but it was lovely talking to you. It was amazing talking to you, knowing
Thank
you
you so
through
much.
this medium. But yes, this friendship we will take it forward, and I definitely feel that we would be working in the near future as soon as the COVID is over. And please stay safe and stay keep social distancing and keep yourself very 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 positive and optimistic. I love the way you look, and as I said, your salt and pepper hair really is enchanting, and I want it soon too. And thank you. Before leaving, if you would like to have the last words.
Thank you so much for having me on oops, I said it. And it's amazing that you've been able to put all these people together. And yes, reaching out to everybody to say how important backstage and what's happening behind us, and bringing that to front stage, and inspiring more and more youngsters to look into this profession, because that's an area which really more people come in, the better it's going to be. So all the
Wonderful. You are a very secured person, because this is very few people say the more people come in, it is going to be more enjoyable. Very few people can say this, and only those who are very secured with their work and their mind. I think that's the soul you are, so secure that you are opening the arena for so many youngsters, and you're welcoming them and asking them to join your field. I think that's what we are looking for: secured artists who can live in harmony. That's the whole
totally.
thing.
So it's going to be a great
It's
experience.
amazing.
So let's meet up, and let's all
Sure.
extend a helping hand to each other
Catch
during
up
this
at the drink.
crisis time. During this, yeah,
Yes.
that's different. Backstage partying is different, but extend a helping hand to each other, and stand by each other right now, because this is the time where it's testing, and our grit will come through only, will show only when we are together. And yes, we need to move the government to support the artists. It's very, very important. And that can
Yes.
only happen when we all
Absolutely.
sing the same song. Okay, take care. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being there, and for
Amazing.
all the lovely questions, and for all the lovely friends who showed up and watched me speak whatever I wanted to. Bye. See ya.
Yeah. थैंक यू। आज के लिए इतना ही था। बहुत अच्छा लगा संध्या जी से बात करके। कल फिर से एक शाम होगी और ठीक 7 बजे वी विल बी बैक with the music director and the recordist. Name is Ashish Banerjee, and it's going to be fun talking to him. Without music, there's no production. Without music, there's no dancing, and without music, life is very very boring. ये तो आप जरूर मानते होंगे। और कल मुलाकात होगी आशीष बैनर्जी के साथ, क्योंकि वो कुछ बातें करेंगे संगीत की, और संगीत जहाँ पे हो वहाँ पे हर टॉक शो सुरीला हो जाता है। एंड रिमेंबर दैट लॉकडाउन इज ओवर, नॉट इन यूपी, वी हैव weekend lockdowns in UP, but the COVID-19 is still there. So wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize, and sleep well, and take care of yourself. Keep social distancing important, and pray and sleep. कल फिर शाम को यहीं पे मिलेंगे ठीक 7 बजे with a new guest. Bye. Namaskar Sandhya
Bye,
ji. Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, Alaknanda. Thank you, everyone. Bye
Bye
bye.
Sandhya ji.